News Fuse. Today is December 14th, 2011, and great news has been brought to our attention here at True News Fuse. After 8 years of fighting a brutal and controversial war, and 4,000 American lives lost, American troops have been removed from Iraq. In 2003, the United States occupied Iraq due to the armed conflict. Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction that posed threats to neighboring Middle Eastern allies, in which the United States relied upon for oil. The withdrawal comes after many protest movements towards the United States government, stemming from feelings that the Iraq war was essentially purposeless, or should never even have taken place. To recap these protests over the past 8 years, we now send it to Harry, our World Interaction representative.
Thank you, Harry. I would just like to say how truly ecstatic I am, and the whole True News Fuse team is, that our troops have been withdrawn from Iraq after 8 brutal years. Over the stretch of this war, I have seen what seems like every form of protest imaginable, and not just in the United States. Countries all over the world have expressed their displeasure toward what many feel like was a good-for-nothing war. Prior to the official commencement of the war, New York saw one of the largest organized assemblies ever, with an estimated 375,000 attendance rate. We now send it over to our Middle Eastern expert Harry to give us more details on today's news straight from Iraq. Thank you, Harry, for the introduction. As you can see, I'm just arriving home from Iraq, and you wouldn't believe the morale of the soldiers who are getting home and finally getting back to their families. The happiness amongst the soldiers was truly a joy to behold, but very few things were joy during my time in Iraq. 23,000 Iraq civilians died over the course of this war, many of them being women, children, and an additional 2,000 police and law enforcement officers were killed. As Harry pointed out earlier, the primary purpose of this war was to protect the Middle Eastern allies in order to continue to have access to their oil supply. Many of you may be thinking, then why is the Iraq war purposeless? The country needs oil, right? Of course the US needs oil, but the fact of the matter is, the United States is in the top 10 oil production countries in the world, and has plenty of access to other means of the coveted black gold. For this reason, among others, many of the soldiers were dissatisfied they were being forced to serve in a war they didn't feel was necessary. However, now we can put it all behind us and celebrate the homecoming of the American heroes as they make their long-awaited return to our home soil. Now we send it over to Washington with our American correspondent analyst, Harry.
Thank you, Harry. And I have to say, hearing your report, much of the same jubilance you described in Iraq has filled the streets of DC as well. The people here represent the nation as a whole, and the excitement surrounding the removal of our troops is overwhelming. Years of protests across the nation have finally paid off, and the protests can finally come to an end. Today has been a long-awaited day, and looking back, average Americans like you and me have done their part to be heard. For example, in 2006, Cindy Sheehan led a large-scale war defiance campaign right outside George Bush's ranch. Another defiance came right here in Washington. Here, the largest Iraq defiance demonstration took place with over 500,000 people. And now, we shoot it back. The long-awaited day today is finally upon us, and our troops are coming home at last, after years of death and protest. Well, I'm Harry Kiesling, saying goodbye from the whole team here at True News Fuse. Have a nice evening.